I know Terry's got some ideas on that, which I think you said when we first met many years ago, it's not the diameter of the pipe that matters, it's where it is in relation to the piece. And the bigger the diameter,
both. The thing to remember about any dust extractor is that if the diameter of the inlet to it, where the dust goes in, is X, let's say, then when you go X away from that, so one diameter distant from the inlet, this airspeed has dropped down to about 10%.
So what's 10%? It reduces by 10%.
The airflow, the airspeed, which will pick up and carry dust, is down to 10%. So you need to be very as close as possible to the inlet where the dust is being generated, which helps if you've got a big inlet, of course, but then you need a big machine, a big extractor to get the air flowing.
And what about a cone?
A cone, yes, but it's where it meets the workshop air that counts. So that whatever diameter that is, you want to be within one diameter distance to the source of the dust. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well.
No, I understand completely. Because in fact, I had an experience of extending my vacuum cleaner, which was a straightforward, normal domestic vacuum cleaner, by which has, I think, 1.5 inch hose. And when I put a very long hose on it, obviously it was totally useless.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing. That's friction loss in the duct.
But Terry, are you talking about the distance between the opening end that does the collecting of the dust and the actual spinning lathe?
Yeah.
Yes.
That distance.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yes. So if the pipe is there, that's the inlet of the pipe, and you come one diameter away, your air speed has dropped to 10%, roughly. Also,
by 10%.
Sorry?
It's dropped by 10% or
no,
to
10%.
To 10%.
So suction, if you're blowing, you can blow across a room. But if you're sucking, the suction has got very little reach.
Yeah.
If this is the inlet here, a lot of the air going in there will be coming from the back and round. It'll be coming round like that, as well as coming in there. So one thing you can do is put a flange on it, here and here. So it's like a top hat.
That's good.
With the brim.
I can do that, yeah.
It'll be right. You can't vacuum by hovering the vacuum over the ground. It's got to be underground to
pick anything up.
Yeah.
And what about the position of this? Some turners, and the professional turners I've seen on video, tend to have it just below, somewhere near their crotch, below them, in front of the workpiece. Mine happens to be behind the workpiece, a bit like yours, I think.
Yeah, mine is behind, partly because it's a 7-inch pipe and there's no room for it in front. But I do my sanding mostly with the lathe running in reverse. So the dust goes over the top and into the pipe. And I can see the dust plume going into the pipe. And if I'm sanding with it coming towards me, I can see the dust moving away a bit and then turning and drifting back. But that's a big dust extractor. And I don't think you get nearly so much suction from a 4-inch or even the 2-inch ones, or 1.5 inch ones.
No, you wouldn't do.
So if you're buying a dust extractor, you want cubic feet per minute as the key factor.
2 cubic feet per minute, yeah.
No, not 2. Cubic feet per minute is the most important consideration. Lots of air movement.
So if you're sanding and you've got your pipe at the back,
yeah,
sanding from the bottom would be better.
Yeah.
Yes, for the same reason.
What I've recently done is I've taken one of these and taken the top off and fixed this bit to the funnel opening of my pipe, which is hovering underneath where the chuck is. So my dust falls onto this and then gets sort of fed into the pipe, and that's working quite well at the moment.
Good idea.
Yeah, well, if you can see the visible dust going into the pipe, then you could hope that the fine dust, which is the actual dangerous part, is going as well.
Yeah.
How
And
do you-
as Brian said, I sand from underneath, and then you
Yeah.
can again see it moving.
How do
Yeah.
you actually fix your pipe to the lathe in the right position?
There's no end to what you can do with the wire coat hanger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
I've got a
probably
wire
know-
coat hanger twisted around the pipe and then hooking up onto the lathe bed strut. And so I can slide it along to where I want, and just it holds it there.
You
Thank you.
probably know I've got
I've
an
got a-
upside down tripod
Mm.
where you can
Yeah.
alter the angle and everything. And the tripod, which normally carries the camera, carries a 6-inch O-ring, which holds the pipe in place. And it works very well. You can push it out of the way if you don't want it, or you can pull it down.
I've got a bucket full of gravel on the floor behind the lathe, and in there is standing a wooden post, and with a little gantry bit to the side, which carries the pipe.
Okay.
So there's the inlet of the pipe, flexible pipe, is mounted on that, and I can just kick the bucket about as I need to.
I'd rephrase that if I were you.
Yeah.
You don't want to kick the bucket too often.
Interesting. What about, I mean, looking at other things, visors, headgear, air extractors, literally either personal air extractors or what have other people got?
You can't beat the one with the, what they call it, the Axminster one. Not the Trend, not like the Trend. What's it called?
I can't remember either.
It's very
The
light.
one
You've got
that basically looks like you're a Martian.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Post used to do one.
Yeah.
They're so efficient, you don't need an extractor. You just need that.
But you do, if you don't have an extractor, you've just got dust flying around your workshop.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Which then, yeah, which is a nightmare.
Well,
And
I've
the
got a
real
hang
problem
from
with
clean.
the other real problem with the extraction is how long the pipe is. I've got a plastic 4-inch pipe on mine, which runs for 15 feet, and it goes from knee height up to 6 foot high and drops down to bandsaw and the lathe down to 3 foot high. So the problem with that is it's trying to suck the stuff uphill before it can get back to the extractor. And the length of pipe and number of bends in it are a little bit of a throttle.
Does anybody know where Mr. North London Woodturners has got to?
Say that again?
Anybody know where Mr. North London Woodturners has got to? I've just sent him a photograph of my setup, how I mount the extractor, and because I don't know how to put it onto here.
Okay, I can do that.
Can you go into North London Wood Turning?
Not quite. If you send it to me, can you send it to me? JulianMarkson@AOL.com.
Oh, you're an AOL man as well.
Yeah. No, all you got to do is type Julian Markson. And then when I get it, I can hopefully download it and share it. Or do you know how to share screen, Jim?
Not a clue, mate.
Okay, fine.
We discussed it at the last meeting.
Hang on, I'm getting there.
Talk
Aha!
amongst ourselves.
There you go. Empty subject. Okay, sod the subject. There you go, Julian. You should have it in your inbox, mate.
Right. Forgive me whilst I disappear for a minute, but I may not disappear.
That's where I kept disappearing to, trying to work out how to send you the.
I think there's one thing that we should remember with dust extractors, which is that they need maintenance. And what I've done is got from Amazon one of those very cheap anemometers, wind speed things. And what I can do is put that at the entrance to the inlet and read the wind speed, the airspeed at that point. And I can do that a few times a year and see how the filters are clogging up or whatever. Because any change like that is usually very slow and it creeps up on you. And you think your extractor is running, but it may not be nearly as efficient as it used to be.
On that same issue, every time I go into the workshop now, or when I leave the workshop, I turn the vibrating thing round on the filter, so the dust comes down and settles in the bag. And then when I go in there next time, it's already cleaned the filter. And it does make a big difference.
It does. But it's easy to suck up a carrier bag or a bird's nest of shavings or something like that and get a partial blockage and not realise it.
That's right.
That's the one I get quite regular with mine is there's like, as you said, Terry, like a bird's nest full of shavings. I have to sort of disassemble it and take out handfuls of shavings.
Yeah.
When they're shavings. When it's dust, it doesn't do that. But Julian, did that arrive?
It arrived. I'm just saving a copy of it. It's taking a long time, but it'll get there.
Okay. No, that's all right.
Right. Now let's see if I can. Let's get back to that. Share screen. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll actually open it to other people who want to share screen as well. Now let's see. What have I got? I don't want to share any of that. Definitely not.
Okay,
no, that's one we want to see, mate.
Hang on, let's get to the right place. Talk amongst yourselves, please.
I'm trying to find my extractor. Never mind.
Where have I put it? Let's have a look.
It's on my clipboard at the minute. Yeah, I found a thing that says share content. However, hold on.
Got it.
You done it?
Well, I hope so.
Ooh.
Right, hang on. We're getting there.
Julian, I think you just allowed me to share photos.
I probably did.
Yeah, let me try it. Hold on. If I select that one.
Go on, you try it.
And if I share that one. Aha! No.
Nope.
Zoom access. Can you see a piece of end grain wood with a coin sitting on it?
No, we're waiting to see something that says Jim is sharing his screen.
Oh, no.
Better be good.
Oh, sorry, it's not really worth all this.
Okay, let me go see if I can do this.
Oh, I'll keep trying.
Julian is sharing his screen.
The piano.
Jim's image.
Can you see anything? Right. Can you see anything, people?
Yeah, we can
See
see,
your
It'll be
email.
your
we can see
computer
the list
screen.
of files.
List of your
Double
emails.
click on it if you can.
I've just done that. I can see it, but you can't. Okay,
No, we're looking at your Explorer file.
fine. Let's come out of that.
Go down the bottom and you'll find it in your pictures on the bottom menu.
Right. Let's have a.
I'm afraid it isn't quite this exciting, you know, once you see it. It's a bit of plywood cut to shape so that I can clamp it to the bedway with a bit of 12mm studding. And then I've just fixed the extractor hose to the top of that using a connection piece. It's very, very simple, and it's very annoying as well. I wish I could, you know, put it onto a sky hook or something or other.
Right. I think you might have. Have you got it now?
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
After I so carefully describe it, then you show it to everybody.
We got there in the end.
Yeah, and the big.
I mean, how big can you see this? Is it big, or should I make it bigger?
Okay.
filling the screen.
Fine.
Full screen.
Okay.
Yeah, it fills the screen.
That's quite a good idea. It's similar to
Very
the
sensible.
tool rest extension. My tool rest extension is like that.
Sort of, yeah. It does kind of get in the way, to be honest. As I said a minute ago, I mean, I wish I had some sort of sky hook or something, you know, so just make it hover in the air.
Jim,
You
what
could
you
mount
could
it,
try,
mount it below the lathe.
No, that's sitting on the bedway.
Yeah.
The spindle on the lathe, the piece I'm working on, that sort of live edge bowl, is hooked in the chuck. The chuck is on the far left.
Could
the
you not
system I
mount?
had,
Could you not mount it, Jim, underneath the bed?
Yeah.
Not really, no. Well, you don't have a clear run from end to end.
No.
the system I had before.
First drilling holes in my lathe, anyway. Be surprised what you can do.
Yeah.
I think it calls for the coat hanger.
I'd like to see a photograph of the coat hanger.
I'll try and do that for next time. It's out in the
Thank you.
garage.
If you have a wall behind the lathe, as you've got there, Jim,
Yes.
which is what I used to have, and I had a shelf about where you've got your little shelf there, but a bit deeper. And what I did, I got two bits of MDF separated by the thickness of that shelf. And I just slid it over the shelf. And that would support the inlet. Nothing on the lathe bed. I could swivel it about quite easily on that shelf. The shelf you've got there is too narrow, but maybe you could extend that.
Yeah, that's actually quite an old picture, and I have, as it happens, extended that shelf already. I've also thought about putting the like the bit where the studding is, put that on something like a tripod, a photographic tripod, and stand it behind the lathe, and then I could just move it along. However, when you get a big pile of shavings back there, as you do, then of course it wouldn't be easy to move the tripod along a bit.
No, that's where you want the bucket of stones. Bucket of
Yeah,
gravel.
a bucket of stones or something that would be.
Could
Yeah.
I ask that various people who have done different things, like the bucket of stones, the coat hanger, Jim, thank you for yours. Could you send photographs in? Because
Yeah,
I
sure.
actually think we could do a very interesting article in one of our newsletters
Put them in the next newsletter.
and just have literally different people's ideas.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be done.
That'll fill a few pages.
No, I just need the photos and then to go in the newsletter.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
We'll
Can
send out-
can I now stop sharing this?
Yeah.
Mm. Cheers, Julian. Lovely photograph, by the way.
Let's see if I
Oh,
can
it's
stop.
mine.
Let's just see if I can stop sharing this. I'm not sure I can.
But you could minimize it if you can't get rid of it.
No, just don't. It's the share screen you need to stop, not the picture.
Go to the
No,
top.
I've stopped the shared screen. I just need to. Oh, wait a
That's
minute.
it.
There we go.
Cool.
Well done.
But what do
Let's
people
see.
think of that gadget that Tom posted on WhatsApp about with the extractor, the sander with the extractor built in? That looked quite useful.
That looked very interesting.
Yeah, it was 48 quid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very interesting. What's it?
I mean, what made it
Had,
look
had a vac or something.
Sanders was the fact it looked far more efficient because it actually took it in at source.
Well, that's the ideal.
Yeah,
It looked a bit cumbersome when you've got the drill to hold and the cable and the vacuum hose, but it looks as if it would work,
I mean, Black and Decker do something very similar,
do they?
but it's not as efficient because
Right.
I mean I've got one, and I have to say I still get an awful lot of sand dust around the workshop.
Mm.
This looked actually very efficient.
Trying to find it on my phone.
Was it Paddleback or something?
Yeah.
I've made my own sanding table with a 300mm disc. And when I made it, I put a hose adapter in the bottom of the table, right up against the sanding disc, which is under the table. So
Okay.
it's actually extracting air from a gap which is probably about 10mm wide for the whole half the diameter of the disc.
Mm.
And that's very, very efficient. I also use the lathe extractor, because this is an attachment on the lathe, use the lathe extractor to take the dust from the top. So I'm doing sanding on the disc. Most of it's going out the bottom into a vacuum cleaner, and the stuff on the top is going up my normal extractor to the other chip scarf. And I get absolutely no dust from that.
Can you send a drawing, Brian?
I can send a picture, yeah.
Send a photo of that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
What do other people use? I mean, I have to say, the guy who taught me used absolutely no dust extraction at all, other than an open door.
Oh, God.
Well, he was 86.
Mm.
And
Well, unless it's very
And he's
fine.
not dead. And he's not dead yet. How long has
Well,
it been?
he is now, but he wasn't then, and he'd been turning since he was 8.
Mm.
Well, unless it's dry and very dusty, you don't need a lot. Especially wet wood. It just
Wetwood, you get soaked.
Yeah.
you don't get dust.
No, that's for sure. Less dust. I'm turning some wet. I think it's larch, and I have to say I was staggered by the amount of spray that came off it.
Wet wood.
Yes, I was turning some wet wood yesterday, and I suddenly thought my roof had sprung a leak.
And it damages stainless steel surfaces as well. You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
really?
Surfaces.
Yeah, I did wipe the lathe down afterwards.
You must wipe the chuck down or the whatever you're attaching the wood to. Don't leave it.
Yeah.
I stood a log on my pillar drill, and the following morning I had a rust circle. Just it eats steel, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't oil the lathe bed.
Don't
That
what?
again?
Don't oil the lathe bed,
Why not?
because the tool rest won't clamp in the same place.
No.
Mm.
Really? I find the opposite.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian. What did you just say?
Don't oil the lathe bed.
Why? I hold it every. Why
Because
not?
when you try to clamp your clamp on the bed for your tool rest, it moves. It won't stay still.
But you
Well,
did,
depends on how hard you
polish
clamp.
yours though, Brian. You did polish them up, polish it up, and clean it all up so much there was nothing to grip onto, and then you put oil on it.
Well, I find the opposite. I find a bit of oil helps it lock.
You must
I
use
will every
the
time I do
ingredients.
Yeah, but Terry, you're a professional, mate.
Well,
The other
Different
thing
oil.
is toast
Probably the same
as
oil.
well.
Oh, it's a good point, Brian, but I still oil the tool bed. You have to choose between rust and a grip. I'll go for the grip.
I mean, when if you do the wet wood, there's a lot of watery content in there. So on the bed itself, you'll also get water on that. You say, won't it rust the bed?
It would, yes.
Yeah.
So you've got to dry it off.
So they suggest that you oil it with a layer of oil to get rid of it.
Well, you could
Oh,
use
preventative.
DW40. That's cotton oil.
Yeah.
But it's a dewatering agent.
Right.
Hmm.
WD-40 will take your paint finish off on the edge if you've got one. You have to be careful with that as well. Oil's better.
Hmm.
What sort of oil do people use?
Oil.
3-in-1.
yeah.
3-in-1 with an aerosol.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
I use that spray, begins with C, got it from Max Benster.
You can use silicone spray as well as a lubricant.
Yeah, you can do that, yeah.
I have to say, silicone spray is wonderful.
It's not messy.
Exactly. Been
What was
using
the
it,
thing on
been using it on pianos for years.
Is that what they call the dry lubricant?
The dry lubricant is PTFE, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I've got a can of spray from Axminster years and years ago. Dry lubricant, I think it's called.
Well, they used to do a graphite one, but they've changed over to PTFE now, I think.
Well, this isn't graphite.
Well, the one I've got is PTFE.
Yeah.
Whatever that stands for.
Polytetrafluoroethylene.
Polytetrachloroethylene.
Okay. I wish I hadn't asked.
That's why they call it PTFE.
Exactly.
I'm just going back to the WhatsApp and reading about this Padovac dustless power sanding system. Has anybody tried it or used it or know how it works?
I think that's what Tom was asking because I'm quite interested in it.
How big is it? What does it do? What is it?
It's basically, it looks like a gun that you
Yeah,
attach
I'll
to
put it there.
a drill. Let's see if I can, hang on. I'm going to get really clever now. Hang on a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, there is a link to it. There we are. Padovac dustless power system, 48 quid.
Yeah, but
Okay, this is what it looks like.
that comes with sanding discs as well.
Let's see if I can share this screen. Reduce that. Share screen. Let's see what I come up with. There we go.
Not yet. Ah, there we go.
There we are. I wish they'd paid me for
Well,
this
that's it.
advert.
Well done.
Oh, there we are, yeah.
Now, how does that work? What does it do for you?
You, from what I understand, you fix some sort of vacuum extractor to that part there. Whoops.
At the
To there.
bottom.
Yeah.
And it literally takes, and you fit it to your drill there.
Oh, your drill.
Yeah.
To your drill.
Hmm.
The drill will turn, obviously, the sander. The dust, so there's the attach where you attach it. The dust comes out there, straight into your vacuum. cleaner.
That is brilliant.
It's very clever.
If there's not too much friction, you could use that without the drill, couldn't you? Like one of these inertia sanders.
Yes, you probably could.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
you
idea.
probably could, actually. You
Has
don't need a vacuum
got-
cleaner.
Anyone bought one?
Sorry, you don't need the drill. No.
Yeah. So it's just between the drill and the head.
Yeah, but actually, Terry, you're quite right. You don't need the drill,
And
actually.
depends on the friction, doesn't it?
Yeah, don't know how powerful it is.
The next model, they'll put a little turbine in the where the black part is, and the vacuum will spin it.
Yes. Are you patenting that?
What happens to the dust that flies off sideways that escapes that first bit of suction?
Now, somewhere there is a. I don't know if this will help. There is a video somewhere.
There we go.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how long it's going to take to load up and do.
There we go.
Oh, well done.
Sanding at the lane. Welcome to dustless power sanding for wood turners.
Big deal.
Simply tighten the chuck of your drill onto the drive shaft of the Padovac dustless sander. Fit standard 2-inch or 50mm discs to the pad. Now fit your extractor hose to the handle of your Padovac and you're ready to start. With extraction, all the dust is collected as it's made. Without extraction, a reminder of the bad old days.
I can see dust.
Yeah.
Power sanding on the wood lathe.
Well, I think that's brilliant.
The Padovac works just as well on the bowl's rim. And on the back.
Can you put a 3-inch disc on there?
It's got its limitations, hasn't it?
You'd be too far from the inlet then.
Makes life easy.
And I wonder if those are standard pads. Because they do get, you do need to change the pads sometimes, don't you?
Just became a lot more fun.
I suppose you can swap the 2-inch for a 3-inch.
Wouldn't be enough suction then, you'd need a bigger
Far
pipe.
away.
Yeah.
The air is flowing from the back, see, sucking from the back of the disc, so it will cover it up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Julian. You're quite the techno whiz.
Oh, no, I'm not. This is more by
Hi,
luck
welcome
than
back to the shop.
judgment.
Thanks for stopping by.
You did well.
Video a
Congratulations.
few weeks ago, project itself.
Oh,
and I
hang
got
on.
such a great response
Let's
from
stop
people
him.
on that, and lots of questions about can I do more
Where
things
are
like
we?
that for beginning turners so they can make sell it back.
That's the inventor, Paddywhack.
Stop sharing.
It sounds like he's a Canadian.
That's better.
Ah, well done.
Finally found him and stopped him.
And my problem with that system would be I usually cut out my own discs from a sheet and they're almost always oversized. And anything oversized on that is going to block the suction of the dust.
Yeah, I think
You've got to have exact size discs to meet the space around it.
It surely. Okay, how do you cut them out?
With a pair of scissors.
Okay, yeah, that would be a problem. You can buy dies that will cut to a certain size, of course.
You got a 2-inch die. Right.
Yeah.
Which
Good
will
idea.
solve that problem.
George, with respect, why do you go to all that?
Why do I what?
Yeah, why do you do it that way? I mean, I
It's
bought
cheaper than buying the discs ready cut.
Yeah, I mean, I got like it was either 200 or 300 discs for like a £5 on eBay.
Really?
I've not seen them at that price.
No, maybe it was £7. I don't remember. It's not a lot.
You can get them quite cheaply now.
Yeah. And the batch I got goes up, so it goes from about 60 to about 3,000.
Yeah, I did too.
Wow. And you got them on eBay. That's good.
Yeah,
On
that was
eBay?
on eBay.
And they're all
What search term do you use for that?
Say that again.
What search term on eBay do you use to find it?
Standing disc.
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
No,
I don't remember. Probably just search, 50 mil sanding discs or something.
Okay.
I don't remember what I did.
Okay.
Velcro sanding discs or
hook and loop, I think they're called mainly, aren't they? To avoid the trade name of Velcro.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, I don't know. It was 6 or 8 months ago. Dave F. Fairman. Yeah, he introduced me to it.
Ah, yes, he'd be the right man for that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. But it's just so easy and so cheap.
And less wastage.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I was quite proud of that I'm taking next door.
We're going walkabout.
Yeah, we're going walkabouts. Yes. After a bit of talk the other week we had about how do you store your discs. Up to for the princely sum of I think it was £9 from Screwfix. That goes 60 to 3,000. Just little drawers. It couldn't be easier, Oh, chaps, welcome. Oh, actually, I can show you my little. Where's my thing? My dust extracting device. It's quite hard to. There it is.
Okay.
I got this urge to make a transfer earlier.
Who are you going to hit?
I thought I'd be a policeman. Fits my hand quite nicely.
You have got height at your advantage.
Sorry?
You have got height at your advantage.
Ah, yes. I've also, the other thing I do, hold on. It's quite. You see, what you do, you set your lathe on fence posts.
Okay.
Yeah. Much easier.
Oh. Is it steady?
Hey.
Is it really stable?
It's like, I don't know, 150 kilos of lathe.
Look, I can make a piano at 220 kilos fall over. No problem at all.
My little sanding disc on a faceplate. What else have I got? I don't know, just random shit, stuff. Sorry. Washer and dryer if I want to do the washing while I'm turning,
Change of subject slightly away from where PPE and etc. And we'll come back to it.
And the very latest.
Oh.
I've just invested in 2 fire extinguishers. One's in here and the other one's in the kitchen.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, yeah. And speaking of dust extractor, there's mine. It was one of the trade ones from Axminster. And the PPE, which I hang off it, and the bandsaw, which is around the back of it.
And do you use your PPE regularly?
Every time.
Okay.
Every time. I'll tell you what, this face mask was like a £5 from home base. And I've worn it every time I've ever turned. And I've used it once.
Okay.
A lump came off. A lump of bark came off of a live edge thing. and it stopped. It was aiming at me dead between my eyes, man. It would have-
And do you
had I not
find,
been wearing that thing, I would have definitely, had a big hole between my eyes.
and do you find that it creates condensation?
No, this one doesn't. It's not too bad at all, actually.
Okay.
But I've got the mask on underneath.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is that I have been wearing one similar, mainly for COVID purposes, and I just find that I have to take it off because I can't see through it because of condensation.
What the Jim is showing is it's a perfect one. It doesn't actually condense at all. It goes tight against your face.
Yeah, that's rubber. That's a rubber fitting.
That is probably the reason why.
Yeah.
I've got the same one, so it's very perfect. It works very well.
Yeah. What I found with the COVID masks, if I use the medical doctory ones, is that they steam up my glasses.
Oh, completely.
Just straight away. I can't see what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Can't see where I'm going. It's cold out here. I'm going to go back inside. Even though it's the garage. It's quite nice.
Has anybody else got anything to offer?
You were about to change the subject, Julian.
I've gone off that one. I'll come back to that.
Sounds like a good one.
When I take my photograph of my extractor, I'm also going to photograph my sanding discs, how I store them.
Okay, yes, that'll be interesting as well. Because I've got a problem with that as at the moment they're all in a drawer and getting mixed up.
Oh, well, mine's similar to Jim, but it's in a carry case, so I can take the whole case to wherever I'm working and just move up the grades.
I saw.
If you buy the discs from Simon Hope, you get one of those compartmented things.
Sorry, say again, Terry?
If you buy your discs from Simon Hope,
all right,
they come in a lidded tray with dividers.
It's similar to what I have.
Quite good, yeah.
But I actually had my carry tray with all its compartments for about 3 years, and I didn't know what to put in it. And then when I had all the sanding discs, the light bulb went off.
Do you reuse your discs or do you always throw them away?
Now I reuse them until they look as if I shouldn't be doing.
Well said. So do I.
I know that Jonathan Brostoff used to use some I don't know the diameter of plastic piping that he used to cut to size, and so he had a row of this plastic piping with the various grades, and he'd just pick it off his shelf.
Sorry, I didn't get that, Julian.
the other
He had
thing
a roll of sandpaper.
No, he had a plastic pipe. He had loads of discs, and he had plastic pipes, which were about that tall, so you could just put your finger in. He labelled them all. Just put your finger in, pick one out, and it was plumbing pipe.
It was a spring loaded.
No, it wasn't. That was too sophisticated. It was literally he cut it, lined them up, and they were on the shelf.
The other thing I would do to prolong the use of my discs is I use compressed air when I finish the job on the disc to blow the bits out.
I do that all the time. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Compressed air is wonderful.
Here's a dive tank. With a nozzle.
Oh yeah, that's another way.
Yes.
But can you fill your tanks yourself, though, David?
No, I take them to a shop in Potter's Bar.
Oh yeah. My son. That's where my daughter met her husband.
Really?
Diving, yeah.
In the
Yeah.
shop? Yes, he's. I haven't been for a year because of COVID, but
Yeah.
it's probably still there filling tanks.
All right. How much they charge to fill a tank?
Not a lot.
It
£7.
was it was about £3, wasn't it, David?
Yeah, 3, 5, depends on the
Tanks
stuff.
over £100.
But they will last for you. A full tank will last you probably a year doing what we're doing. You're not breathing off of it.
I think I paid £90 to buy the whole equipment from Screwfix, and it's on wheels. Push it into the corner, and it's got one of those spiral hoses to the trigger.
Yeah, no, that is the proper way to do it.
The only downside is it's extremely noisy.
Ah, I bought one from Axminster. It sort of whispers. And I donated my noisy compressor to the sailing club.
Is that Axminster on a screw compressor?
It's oil free. The tank is vertical. Swan. It's called Swan.
Right. There's two types of compressor on there. There's the two screws that run together and move the air into the compressed compartment. And there's a displacement pump type.
Yeah, mine's got a twin cylinder compressor on the top of it, and it's oil free.
Right.
So it's it works really well, actually, and it's quiet.
Send that message.
By the looks of it, Adam is
it's 500.
back in situ, but not on camera.
Yeah,
Sorry,
500.
hello.
Woo, Adam, yo.
Hello. Sorry, had to deal with something. Got sidetracked.
Well, we've proven we can share screen between us.
Good.
So we're getting better. We can't do it as fast as you.
Practice.
It's
knowing where to look.
Jim, was that the one I posted in the chat?
Oh, yeah, no, we did all that. That was we were talking about extraction. And you got that email before Julian did.
The
extraction holding thing mounted to the bedways. Yeah.
Back.
And a particularly fine piece of my live edge turning.
I'm going to have to leave you now because I'm going to go home. So I'll say cheerio.
Cheerio,
See you.
Brian.
Bye.
See you, Brian.
Bye,
Keep
Brian.
well.
Thanks, Brian.
See you soon.
Gosh, we've grown in size.
So where is everybody tonight anyway?
I don't know.
They've all done a runner.
Well, in a couple of weeks' time, we've got. Is it Les Thorne?
Les Thorne on the 21st, yes.
And
So that meeting will be open to other clubs.
Has he confirmed what he's doing?
Not actually. Well, I did. Yeah, yes, I have. And he's doing what we set out to do when we first asked him.
From log to bowl.
From log to bowl. Yeah. But I hope we get more than 10 people.
If we're opening up to others, then we should do.
Yeah, no, we will.
Sorry, what date is that?
It's the third Wednesday, which is the 21st of this month.
Ah, you didn't put that on your list to me. You said any ideas.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you explain that? What did you want?
I wanted a list of the program because I've got an SOT one coming up. I want to make sure they hold it on their website indefinitely.
Yeah, no, I missed it. It was too recent, but that I should have added that. You're right.
So
we
that's
don't have anything beyond Les Thorne.
What have we got beyond? What have we got in May?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
I'll do a bit of work on that.
Work in progress.
Yeah, I guess so. Shouldn't be difficult.
Very impressed with the link I guess it was Adam sent it, and he sent a picture of the compressor, which looks exactly like my compressor. However,
Right.
I didn't pay anything like that amount for it.
I think it's a very expensive
More
one,
like,
isn't it?
I paid more like 300 for. Oh, maybe that's the 50 litre. I think I bought.
50 litre.
Yeah, I think I got a 30 later, which was the first number was 3.
We've lost
yeah.
Were there 3 other numbers or 2 other numbers?
Well, they do have one on their website, which is a 30 litre oil-free low noise compressor.
How much is it?
381
Yeah, that's
and
that's
change.
yeah, that's more like it.
Can you use it for like a sanding attachment? If you have like a compressed sanding attachment?
Yeah, it depends on the sand attachment.
My 90-pound one from Screwfix comes complete with spray gun and all manner of attachments.
You said yours is loud.
But it's loud.
I believe it's only loud when it's refilling, not when it's full.
Yeah. When
it's running, it's the motor, it's the compressor that makes the noise. So when it's up to pressure, it switches off.
Yeah.
Until I use it. Yeah.
So I bought a £40 one, like that size from Amazon, and it's good for just blowing dust around and air brushing, things like that. And for the money, I thought it was pretty good. And it's virtually silent as well.
Yeah. No, when I bought mine, I was getting advice and things. I mean, the main thing I do is, as you say, blow dust around. But it works so bloody well. And he said very much, I talked about running tools off of it. And he said, absolutely, first off, buy the tool, then buy the compressor that will run it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But backwards.
Yeah. But the main thing I do with it is blow dust around. It's very handy if you've been turning wet wood as well, because you can just clear the lathe, clear the metal bits, clear the bedways, so they don't rust up.
Yeah.
It works really well. And it might be camellia oil that we were talking about earlier. Little spray. Yeah. Little spray bottle.
Yeah.
Works a treat.
Interesting.
Julian.
Yeah.
Anybody got any other subjects we can chat about before we shut down?
All silent. In that case, shall we call the evening to an end and go and get some dinner?
That's a good idea. I'm getting peckish.
Thank you.
Julian, just before, are you calling me tomorrow or am I calling you?
Either or. Are we doing it on Zoom or are we doing it on
Zoom?
I'll set it up.
You set it up.
Yeah, because I can do more than an hour.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, that's a private issue.
I'll send you the link.
Thank you. Well, next meeting is on the 21st of April with Les Thorne. Ironically, he was the very first person we had in lockdown, and now he's maybe the last before we go back in the hall. So,
and interestingly, I think we were his first Zoom attempt.
We were. Yeah. I hope he's improved his equipment. It was a bit.
Well, his wife is not doing the recording anymore.
He's not the one with the 10-year-old cameraman, is he?
No, that was Angus.
He's the one who has now joined up with Martin Saban.
They have joining workshops.
Yeah, join their workshops, and they're using each other's. I think Les Thorne is using Martin's technology.
Well, that's good technology then. It'll be slick. Yeah.
Very good.
I've just been given a whole pile of wood turning books by Mel Esterman. He's just had a big clear out, and I've got about 10 lovely books on wood turning, which I will donate to the club for us when the library is reopened. So yeah, it's just a fact.
They should be probably listed somewhere.
Yeah, I maintain a list once we're back in.
Yeah, not sure who
I'll
holds the
add
library list.
them to list, and I've got stickers to put on them.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, George. All right, gentlemen. Very interesting evening.
Thank you.
So some information which will go in the newsletter, which will be
Yeah,
very
don't forget
good.
the photographs. Lots of photographs on extractors.
Mm,
Anything to do with that subject. We'll do an article.
yeah.
Just before you sign off, you can buy anti-mist spray for glasses from Amazon.
So I saw, and that works with the.
And that.
Okay.
What is that? A glasses? Or
There's all sorts, but I haven't got the spray yet. But
It's
I'm
Oh, cool.
A cloth, but
That'd
it's
be very good for diving goggles.
supposed to keep it clear. Medium success, I would say.
well, that's better than misting up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can do the
Right.
same with spit. Just spit on your
Yeah, diving goggles was what we used to do when I was a kid.
It was a cut potato, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you threw it in the chip pan.
Either that or
Anyway.
just breathe, you know. Hold your
Anyway,
breath.
all right. Thanks, Julian. I'm off to get my tea now, so I'll
Yeah.
see you all in a fortnight.
Okay,
Right,
so in a
guys.
couple of
See you
weeks.
in
All
two weeks.
the best.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Sleep well. Night to meet